Recently, I was chatting with a client about what she wanted to accomplish in a presentation workshop with her team. I was curious why she thought they needed intensive training on building presentations. She told me how busy her team was and said that having to sit through presentations that meandered and didn't get to the point was a colossal drain and time waster. But an even bigger concern of hers was the image her team was projecting to the C suite. She told me the story of a strategist in her company that we'll call Eve. She described Eve as the smartest brain you could ever meet, but for the life of her, she cannot present, and went on to describe the weird juxtaposition of Eve's brilliance versus her disconnected presentations. We've all had the experience of sitting in a presentation and wondering, where is this going? The reason is usually because the presentation simply hasn't been structured in the right way. A common mistake of many slide authors is to write to think. And because the place they do the writing is PowerPoint, they confuse their slides full of words and bullet points with a presentation that's ready to go. But being on the other side of this type of presentation is agonizing for the audience. It's like watching the presenter wrestle with the beast of the material in search of a conclusion. You see this often when a domain expert has what we call the curse of knowledge. The domain expert knows so much about the topic and has connected so many ideas together. The person feels compelled to contain them all in one PowerPoint deck. But here's what's happening inside the mind of the audience. The audience is getting fact after fact, anecdote after anecdote, but doesn't know where the story is headed. And because the human brain is hardwired to make meaning, the audience inserts connective tissue to hold all the facts together in an attempt to predict the conclusion in their own minds. In other words, they weave their own storyline together. Here's the problem. If the audience's newly conceived story doesn't line up to the one you're presenting, you've lost them. This everything and the kitchen sink approach to presenting a deck wastes everyone's time, leaves a terrible impression, and usually results in sending the slide author back to the drawing board, or worse, a flat out rejection of your recommendation.